I'm going to show you how to create some more layers for shapes. So if you look in your shapes folder, just to give you a heads up of where we're going with this, I have three layers: a circle layer, a rectangle layer, and a triangle layer. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete these so I can show you from the beginning how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is create your shapes, or click on your shapes folder. So that should be highlighted. Your shapes folder should be highlighted. And I want you to create a new layer in that. In fact, we're going to create 3 new layers, so go ahead and press your plus button to create a new layer 3 times. Let's call the first layer triangle, second layer rectangle, and just double click on the layer name to rename it, and the last one circle. So let's go to the circle layer. Press on your circle layer. To draw a circle, go to your tools menu. It is the second tool down from the top. It might be hidden, but you're looking for the elliptical marquee tool. It's a circle with a dashed line. And wherever you'd like to draw a circle, you can draw your circle. Now you'll notice that it's going to draw an oval unless you hold the shift key down while you're drawing, and then you can get a good circle drawn. So pick your color, whatever you want your color to be, and then go to your paint bucket. And you can also use a gradation for this. Let me show you quickly how to do a gradation. Switch your colors over to the gradient tool. So to choose a gradient, and if you want that instead, go to your paint bucket and hold down the icon and choose gradient tool. Look up at the top and you will see an example of what your gradient will look like. Right now mine is yellow to a checkerboard, and the checkerboard means it's transparent. If I want to change that, go down to basics and click on foreground to background. That will change from my, if you look in your swatch menu down here, the one on top is your foreground, and then the back one would be your back color. So if I want it to go from, let's say, yellow to orange, I will click on my background color and change that to orange. So you can see in my 2 swatches, the foreground color is yellow, the back one is orange, and that gives you a preview of what it would look like. You have several choices. This gradient is side to side. So if you watch me fill this in, when I click and let go, one side of the circle is orange, one side is yellow. If I want it to be a circular pattern, if you come up to the top of your window and click the circular gradation, and you click in the center of your circle and pull outwards, you'll see that is more of a spherical gradation, which I like quite a bit. So I'm going to leave that one alone. If you want to create more circles on this layer, whoops, by all means, you can switch back to your circle tool and create some more circles. So I'm going to create just a few circles here. And I might not use all of these, but I'm just going to see what it looks like. Once you're done with your circle layer, let's now go to your rectangle layer. So go to your layers menu and press on your rectangle layer. On the left tool menu, the second down from the top, select your rectangular marquee tool. That might be hidden under your circle menu, remember. So sometimes you have to press and hold to find that tool. And then if you want to draw a rectangle, choose your color. And again, you can use a gradation if you want. I'm just going to do a plain color on this one. And again, your paint bucket might be hidden behind your gradient. but I'm going to click that in. I'm going to show you a quick way if you want to make duplicates of this. If you just hit Control C and then Control V, you'll see that it makes another layer. And if you want all these layers to be compressed or on the same, if you want all these rectangles to be on the same layer, if you hit Control E as an elephant, you can see in the layers menu how it pushes those together. So if I select those guys again, I'm going to select the rectangles, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. It makes a copy. I can drag it down. I can continue hitting Control V to paste and drag it to where I want it. So I'm kind of making this cool rectangle pattern. But with each one, you'll notice it is creating another layer. So again, to solve that problem, just hit your top layer and hit Control E as an elephant, and it's going to compress all of those down to my rectangle layer. So when I hide the eyeball in my rectangle layer, you'll see they're all one. So finally, let's go to the triangle layer. I'm going to just hide the circle and the rectangle just so they're not in the way. For the triangle layer, we're going to use the lasso tool. And you want to make sure your feather is on 0. So to do this tool, if you hold down, I think it's your control key on the PC. I'm using a Mac, so it's a little different. But when you hold down the control key with your lasso tool, it's sort of like connect the dots. And you want to remember to end where you start so it closes the shape. Draw a triangle, go to your paint bucket. You can fill that in with whatever color you want. To rotate your triangle, go to your arrow tool, click on your arrow tool at the top while your triangle is still highlighted with the dashed lines. Hit Control T, and that is to transform, T for transform. And you'll see these the cursor will change to a curved line with 2 arrows on the end of it. That is the turn signal. So you can turn and rotate your triangle to whatever direction you want. And if you want to move it, just put your arrow to wherever you want to move it and drag it to where you want it to move. So this is kind of a cool way to manipulate your triangle. And if you want to make a copy of that triangle, by all means, you can hit Control C, Control V. Sometimes you have to switch back to your tools in order to kind of see that show up. And if you get confused with that, just call me over and I'll help you. But you can move your triangles to where you want them. So when you're done, oops, just compress this layer here with Control E. You should have a triangle layer, a rectangle layer, a circle layer. You can use plain colors or gradients. And please hit Control S to save this as keep your layers intact. The next video, I'll show you how to import patterns into your shapes. Thank you.